Hi folks, this is Goddard Radio Moscow here again for you with another beer review. Today I report to you from Heidelberg in Germany. Hopefully you're also noticing the sound is a little better in these videos now due to this guy. But today I report to you from Heidelberg in Germany, where I've been on holiday over here for a friend's wedding, and I've picked up a bit of a stockpile of some nice local German beers. In Germany they prefer to drink the local beers, and the ones that we get exported into Britain, the Veltins, Bitburger, Kronbacher, these are all termed by the Germans as industrial beer. But today I bring you one from a little town called Soest, which is 50 kilometers east of Dortmund. As you can see, this is in a big monster bottle, which is about a litre. This is a litre bottle, but it's a monster. It's a big heavy thing. But this cost me €4.50 for some pretty damn good beer. And interestingly, if you take the bottle back, you get €1. You get €1 back for the recycling that you get in Germany. So the beer really only costs you €3.50. But the Zwiebel Brauhaus literally means onion brewhouse, and they're recognised for their little onion mark, which you can see on the bottle just here. And if you look at the label, you can see it's a sort of portrait style label with just the beer, the Helles beer, which is this one sitting in the doorway. Now this brewery is very interesting. On their website they have a very extensive description of their brewing process, which I'll go through in the video for the Dunkel beer, which was the other one that I was recommended by the people inside. Now this is the only brew house in Soest, which is in Westphalia. This is the county of this one, and it's 50 kilometers from central Dortmund. But the building for this one comes from the 30 Years' War, and it was a former bakery. It's been a bakery for the majority of its life. This brewery isn't so old, I understand. It was hard to find a founding date for this brewery, but I believe it was the early to mid 1800s that this one comes from. But interestingly with this one, because there's such an extensive brewing process, you can book group tours of about 10 people or so and go and visit the master brewer for an hour or so, and this includes a taste of the Helles and Dunkel beer, which was the ones that I was told were the staple ones that I should do reviews on. So here we are with the Helles beer. Now the Helles beer is a Pils style beer, and the Dunkel beer is a darker one, and the types of this beer, it depends on how the initial malts are roasted. But the brewery also has some other interesting things. It has a restaurant, and you can also hire beer wagons, which I didn't even realise you could do in Germany. But these things can hold 22 kegs of beer, which equates to 1,100 litres. So you can have a pretty good party with a lot of good friends and things like that if you hire one of these things out. But you can buy beer as well, and for these big labels you can have personalised tags made for them for the kind of measly cost of €1. But the Zwiebel Brauhaus they have the Dunkel, the Helles, a Weizen beer, just a Weiss beer, and they also have several seasonal beers. They have the Maibock, which is brewed in April for May, the Märzen, which is brewed in February for March, the Weihnachtsbock, the Christmas Bock, and they also have the 1444 Soest beer, which is an old beer, and it's I was told that this is a herbal top fermented beer, and I'll talk about top and bottom fermented beers in the Dunkel video, where I'll go a bit more through the brewing process for these beers. But the Helles is a Pilsner style beer, so we'll just open this up and get it poured and have a little look at it. So we'll just get this open. This is one of these sort of Grolsch style pop-in caps. It's just, I was expecting a bit more of a bang from this one, which I've had from another beer recently, but we'll just get this guy out. It's a 4.9% one. It's brewed in accordance with the German purity law. As you can see, it's a beautiful little golden colour here. I'll just close this guy back up. I'll share the rest of this with some friends just after I finish this video. But yeah, as you can see, it's a very beautiful yellowy golden colour with a nice big head on it, this is very common for German beers. It's very nice bright yellow. You can see just from kind of moving it around like this, there's a good bit of lacing left when you move it around and things. It's very there's not so much carbonation in this one, which is in my experience is typical of German beers. They're not too keen on very kind of fizzy beers, if you like. But let's just give it a little smell. It's kind of, oh, it's very very malty, I would say. Definitely, you can smell sort of toasted. It's toasted and I would say it's very sort of bready. You can really smell the toasted hops in this one. It's actually a really really nice smell. The key with the German beers and the local German beers, in my experience, is that they don't like to serve them like as cold as we do in the UK, which is I think that personally makes a difference to the drinkability of these things. But I really enjoy drinking the beer at just the sort of semi-cold temperature, which is good. But yeah, this one has very malty, toasted elements to it, some bready notes. Let's have a little taste. It's very very light. It's quite very very light. There's a little bit of sweetness about it. That kind of bready note to it is prominent in the taste as well, I would say. There's maybe a little hint of bitterness on the finish to it. Yeah, it's kind of, it's more bready. I would say this beer is very very bready, very light, a very very slight bitterness to it. On the finish, it's more a bready aftertaste. The breadiness in this particular pill style beer for me is kind of the main thing in this. It's kind of, overall, I would say this beer it's very easy drinking. It's very light, and that's probably due to the kind of lack of carbonation that the Germans put in their beers. This one is fairly medium bodied. A lot of the industrial beers, Bitburger and all of this, I would say are very light bodied. This has a bit more to it, but it's nowhere near as heavy bodied as the likes of the Rauch beers and things like that. But this one, I would say, for a German beer, like a lot of German beers, it's enjoyable, it's easy drinking. But this one, I would say, it's not, from my experience of trying different German beers in places like Bamberg, it's nothing spectacular. It's a really enjoyable beer, I would say, but compared to some of the real treasures of Germany, it's not a particularly memorable one. It's a really nice thing. Like I say, this brewery has a very kind of particularly interesting brewing process. That's one of the things I would say. If you're in Dortmund, you've only got a 50-kilometre journey. Jump on the train at the far end platform in Dortmund, take a little trip to Soest. You'll pass the Westfalenstadion for Borussia Dortmund, go and visit the brew house, and I would say it's very interesting. Do one of the tours, take a look at it. It's a nice beer, typical of Germany. But yeah, well, thanks for watching this video for me. Let me know how the new sound has turned out, if that's better. I'll be back shortly just with a video for the Soest Dunkel beer. I'll just let you have another wee look at the bottle just before I go. As you can see, it's that nice portrait picture on it there. It's a monster, this thing. I didn't realise when I bought this it was going to be a litre, but definitely if you're in the Dortmund area, give the Soest, the Zwiebel Brauhaus, take a little trip to Soest, give it a try. Please like, subscribe, comment on the videos, let me know your own opinions of the beer. If you want anything else added to the videos, please let me know. But thanks again for watching, and I'll be back soon. Cheers for watching.